Alright, greetings denizens and non-denizens, we're back to Dreamfall, the longest journey. I said that with a lot of enthusiasm. Dreamfall, the longest journey. Well, let's have a look around our bedroom, shall we? Maybe get some clothes on, that'd be appropriate. Let's see what she has to say about the situation.
Big surprise, I'm still here.
You can keep clicking on herself and she will break the fourth wall.
What? I got something on my face? Is my hair okay? What are you looking at?
Who looking at?
What? I got something on my face? I like my outfit. It's inexpensive, but cool. It's kind of unsettling to be so aware of myself all the time.
Say, it's like she knows you're watching.
The wardrobe is actually made of real wood, and not that synthetic crap that makes me sneeze and itch all over.
Yeah, this far in the future, most of the world has been paved over and taken over by corporations. In fact, the government is run entirely by the corporations, like Bingo Cola. Well, they make a lot of other things, like cardboard pizza and other stuff that she'll talk about. Let's open our cabinets. It
sounds like gonna be our future.
It's kind of what she calls it. I imagine it's some kind of fake doughy stuff. The toy monkey.
It's Constable Guybrush, my toy Oh, ape. He doesn't much like being called monkey.
And both games have a character that's a monkey that's adored by the protagonist. Get up. Constable Guybrush is silly, you're gonna like him. It's one of my favorite characters.
It's so good.
This is a toy that's going to be used way later on. In most puzzle games, you should click and pick up everything because it will be used later.
Even if it doesn't
Constable
look like
Guybrush is a strange hybrid between man, ape, and musician. In addition to being an officer of the law, of course.
It's a full-time job, I'd say. Anyway, anything that you see, even if it looks useless, if you can pick it up, pick it up. I don't think the game can punish you. I don't think you can not pick something up when you need it, but I'd still be careful.
It's a wind-up mechanism.
Now you get to hear one of the most annoying things you'll ever hear.
Hey! You! Yeah, you! Hands up! Spread your legs!
And do the monkey.
Mildly amusing, but irritating as hell.
Yep.
I'll shut him up.
Mhm. I bet you can't imagine how this is going to be used. Needless to say, it will be, and it's rather entertaining. Let's look at your eyes.
I think one of his eyes is falling out.
Uh-oh.
The eye came loose. Poor Constable Guybrush.
Seems kind of irrelevant, doesn't it? Let's take that eye.
Sorry, Guybrush, but I need to borrow your eye for a while.
Also will come in handy. Emphasizing that point I made earlier on, that you should click everything in your inventory. You'll regret it.
Monkey see, monkey do. Well, not without this he won't. My cash card at the moment is really quite useless. There can't be more than $1 or $2 left in it.
I should pick up your paycheck. Let's get out of here. Let's look around. What else is in here?
It's a bunch of drawings I drew when I was a kid. I don't even know why I brought them here. They mean absolutely nothing to me.
Well, April, if they meant absolutely nothing to you, wouldn't
Bunch
you
of
bother?
useless old drawings.
Can't pick them up. That's a shame.
All right, so my wardrobe's sort of chic deficient, but I can't afford to be cutting edge. Useful, practical, and cheap is my shopping mantra.
April Ryan is a budding artist who came to this town of Venice to go to the local college.
When fame and wealth come knocking, I'll buy a wardrobe the size of an ocean liner and fill it with clothes for $1 million. Right now, I'll try to focus on my work. I could only carry one suitcase with me when I left home. There was so much I would have loved to bring, but c'est la vie. At least it was a clean break with my past. I guess when all my hard work starts paying off, I'll get a house and fill it with all kinds of new junk. The past, who needs it?
Sounds like me. That's
She-
what I did.
She has a rather colored past. That's why she moved so far away from her family. You learn about it through the course of the game. More so in the second game.
That's pretty much what I did. I grabbed a suitcase full of, well, barely anything.
Yeah, so she did and left. And
Yeah.
came right here to start at that college. Grab the first job she could find. A
I'm
plant.
not good at taking care of living things, but this plant's doing just fine despite months of neglect.
So a sturdy plant living in a very, very polluted future.
Nice view. if you're into brickwork.
Let's find out just how polluted the future is by checking out the canals of Venice. They don't look quite so wonderful anymore. That just looked beautiful. Look at that.
I still haven't figured out what runs through the canals in Venice, but I'm sure it can't be water.
Some parts
Green,
water.
goopy muck.
Rubber ducky. How'd that
It's
get
a
there?
rubber ducky, helplessly trapped under that rusty old grill.
How do we free
It's a
the rubber
seagull.
ducky?
The poor guy looks quite hungry.
Guess I'm clicking everything, because why not?
It's a clothesline.
Oops. Didn't really do much about these chains.
I don't know what that chain's for, but it's connected to some kind of mechanism at the bottom of the canal.
That's about all we can do.
Whatever those pipes are spewing out, I know one thing for sure. It ain't water.
That's raw sewage.
Yummy. Smell
Shelves.
Shells.
What a keen observation, April. What about this?
It's just a chair.
Is that semi-functional
That fan is supposed to keep the room nice and cool in the summer. Sure. Yeah. It's at least, 1/4 of a degree cooler in here when it's on.
Doesn't seem to want to stay on.
That's my work. It's supposed to be a portrait of my life study teacher, but I think he might disagree.
Looks, interesting. It's abstract.
That's my desk, so, theoretically, that's where I'm supposed to do my work. I think my muse has departed me for greener pastures, though, because lately, inspiration's been fleeting at best. I had to borrow some posters from the cafe, because I just can't afford to buy any of my own. When I think about it, that's so depressing.
I always click around at everything in the room. Sometimes we learn more about the story elements, and it just adds ambience to the game, really.
It's a picture of me and my friends.
Seems relatively important. Let's check it out. Oh, come on.
It's a picture of Charlie, Emma, and me in Florence Park. Marcus took it about a month ago before it got real hot.
Yep. See how it's not glowing? You can't combine this, honey. If you try to, nothing happens. No witty comments, just nothing. It's this on the desk.
My on-again, off-again diary. We've had a turbulent relationship, her and I.
Now, the diary's important. You'll notice that there's something missing up here. So let's pick up that diary and see what happens.
Dear diary, note to self. Dreams of talking trees and dragons aside, it's still no excuse for talking to inanimate matter in the real world. So quit it.
Again with the breaking of the fourth wall. I know why I said you'll notice, because you technically haven't played this before. But watch what happens when I pick up the diary. Now we have April's diary. What's this? A timesheet.
There's a loose sheet of paper in here. Hey, it's my timesheet from the cafe. I completely forgot I put it in here. Good thing I found it, because I'm broke.
Yeah, we will need some money for later expeditions.
I've been keeping a diary intermittently since I was 5 years old. Not the same one, of course. I started this one, I think, April of this year.
April? Starting her diary in April?
It's my diary.
Let's take that.
It's my diary.
How? Right. Okay, I lied about the button being up here, but once you go in here, you'll notice that there's now April's diary. If you open it up again, you can read, and I will pause this, or you'll pause it, so that you can read these, and I will attempt to show you each page, because April has very interesting things to say that are oftentimes revealing, and aid you in finding out what you're supposed to do next. She might not say something outwardly, but each major thing you do adds a page to the diary. If something's been added to the diary, this button up here will flash, or glow, or do something special. Right. Now that we're done with that, let's Let's leave.
I'd better head over to the studio to do some work. Only 2 weeks until the big show opens, and my contribution is in serious need of attention. Might be a good idea to get dressed first, though.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Totally in your underwear.
I don't think anyone would take you seriously. Having one nightmare lead into another sounds like Inception.
Hey, babe.
Oh boy, this guy.
Babe, you're looking real sexy today.
Zach, listen, I've got to run, and...
What's going on, April? How you been?
This guy's a real dick. But he has his uses. That's not to burn any bridges, you know. I was just fine until you came along. Yes, you can do the whole mean, not mean stuff. We don't have time. I think it's best.
I don't really have time to hang around.
Then how about hanging out with me tonight? A few raptures, some hot dancing. Did I tell you I got a VIP pass to the pavilion? Those things are hard to come by, babe.
Well, should we be passive? Yeah, I think so. He's our neighbor. Stuck dealing with him. No, I'm pretty sure April wants to kick him somewhere.
Sounds like good fun, but not tonight.
Hey, whenever. Just don't expect me to be waiting around for you forever. No chick is worth that heartache. See you around.
What an asshole.
My sentiments exactly. Strange feller. So let's see what happens when she goes to knock on his door.
That's Zach's room. I've never been in there, and I pray I never will.
Must be fun having a room across the way from that guy.
Nuh-uh. I'm not knocking on that door unless it's absolutely necessary, and frankly, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Oh, this thing. This thing is interesting, but we're not going to click that here. We're going to go over to this plant in the corner of the room that seems inconspicuous.
Organic plastic. It grows, and it converts carbon dioxide into oxygen, just like real plants, but it doesn't need nourishment of any kind. Convenient, but disturbing.
So kind of useful.
Still no substitute for the real thing.
No, it doesn't quite have the same smell and texture. But you didn't think that you'd be able to interact with that plant in the corner of the room. It's a good thing you have me to guide you.
It's a leaf of organic plastic. It grows, it converts carbon dioxide into oxygen, but it doesn't need water or sun. No
Oh, you already said that. Why are we listening to it again? We now have a leaf. Let's interact with this thing. This thing is quite interesting. It's an access terminal.
It's a fact, as in F-A-C-T, Free Access Terminal.
Kind of a snarky little free access terminal. You just wait.
Computer.
Voice interface is not installed. Please use the touchscreen interface to communicate with this free access terminal.
Oh, okay.
Why not consider a very reasonable upgrade? In addition to a voice interface, true holo display technology and Instacredit compatibility.
No, I'll just use my hands, thanks.
You are missing out on a great opportunity. If you upgrade now...
Hold on. You understood that. You have a voice interface installed already. Why would I pay to have another one installed?
Current voice interface is for sales purposes only. If you take advantage of this very affordable upgrade today...
No, really. This terminal doesn't belong to me.
Noted. Please refrain from voice communication in the future, or you will be reported to the FACT FUB and charged for processing time.
FUB?
Fair Use Bureau. They are authorized to carry deadly arms.
Oh,
Well,
it sounds like our future.
Whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and this was produced in the 90s. Can you believe it? How unsettling. Has a whole cyberpunky vibe going to it. I like the way the computer looks. So let's get away from that thing. Actually, let's try and...
It's a fact. No, I don't think I'd appreciate the FUB barging in on me right now.
I don't think anyone would appreciate that. Getting taken
Yeah,
at
anytime.
gunpoint for talking to a computer that's trying to rip you off.
Can't wait till SOPA passes. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be terrible.
So hope it
That's
doesn't go
how
that
it would
far.
be.
Go, April. Down those stairs.
Copyright!
Okay, there's a lot of stuff to do in this room. I mean, just... Let's talk to our landlady. I mean, she's got interesting opinions. Actually, we'll check out this board first. This fan.
More fans. Proper air conditioning was apparently never a viable alternative for the contractor.
Something else of interest. This building is pretty old. And it's very irrelevant. And it's kind of interesting that April would find herself here. Which will be explained.
The omnipresent screen. I don't pretend to know how it works, but all the data apparently passes through tiny little black holes in the fabric of our dimension. You know, that really freaks me out when I think about it.
I really hope our screen technology never progresses like that. Sounds dangerous. No tiny black holes in my monitor. I have enough trouble. My computer. Well, let's cook around this board. There's a few things you can mess with.
Annual summer blowout at the Fringe Cafe, Friday, August 4th, 8 p.m. Free food, live performances by Royne Dale, Harlequin Masquerade, The Go-Getters. Tickets available at the bar. $10 only. Spread the word.
Bar? It wouldn't happen to be where we work. Maybe we can get free seats?
Be considerate. Keep the volume down after 11 p.m. Fiona.
What's this? Pizza and movie night. I like pizza and movie night.
Pizza and movie night, Monday, July 31st. BYOS. BYO what? Soap?
You'd be surprised.
Look, it's Monkey Boy! San Francisco. I'd love to go there someday. Someday soon, hopefully.
I wonder what San Francisco looks like a couple hundred years in the future. This is what we... click the jock, but we want the note.
I'm sorry, but big sweaty jocks do not turn me on. I'll take a nerd any day.
Heck yeah.
But fan service?
I can't tell what that note's saying as long as it's up there. Fiona's handwriting is not particularly legible.
Now that's how the game is going to cue you. It's going to be very subtle about it. It says as long as the note's up there, which means grab the note.
Found. A gold ring under the common room sofa. If it's yours, let me know. But no false claims, please. Fiona. I did lose a gold ring a few weeks ago. I hope this is the one. I'll have to ask Fiona about it.
So starts our interaction with Fiona. Hear the little noise? That means you've done something right, or you've progressed the story.
You done did something right.
Now we're going to need that gold ring soon. We're also going to need everything else in the room that you can interact with.
It's a matchbook.
Let's take that. No one seems to care that we're taking arbitrary things. Why not continue?
Emma picked this table up at a flea market for $10 last month. That's $9 more than it's worth.
A $10 table. That's a good deal.
It's a chair. They really knew how to design tacky furniture back in the late 22nd century.
See? Future.
That's Fiona, my landlady. She's all right.
So let's take that note and click her with it. Notice how it's blinking? If you hover over anything else in the room, it won't. There you go. Also
I saw
makes a
this note on the
noise.
corkboard. I think the ring might belong to me.
I'm sorry I have to ask, but could you describe the ring?
Sure thing. It says Sweet 16. My dad gave it to me. I think it was the only birthday of mine he remembered, or at least acknowledged.
Yes, that's the one. I found it under the sofa when I was vacuuming. Here you are, darling.
Thanks. It's not worth much, but it's got a certain sentimental value for me.
It's a very pretty ring.
Yeah, it is. My dad never gave me anything pretty before or since. He must have won a poker game or something that day. You know what's strange? I don't hate him. He's a bastard and he treated me like crap almost every single day of my life. But I don't hate him. I feel sorry for him.
Why?
Because he doesn't know how to love. He can't love anybody or anything. And because he'll be miserable every second of every minute of every day until the day he dies. God, I'm glad that life is behind me. I hope I never have to see him again. No, that doesn't sound right. I've made a choice not to see him again. Ever.
April has a very tenuous relationship with her father. And sadly, you won't really find out much about that until the second game. find out a little. Let's talk to Fiona. She has a lot to say, and after that, we will depart.
Morning, Fiona.
Good morning, darling. You're up early.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep.
Are you feeling all right? You look a little pale.
Fiona's a very interesting character. Very silly. They're fitting for each other. It's been a bad night. I had a very, very interesting, semi-creepy dream.
I had a bad nightmare.
Again? Well, you're not the only one, darling. Mickey woke me up screaming in the middle of the night. She wouldn't go back to sleep until I made her a cup of herbal tea.
Nightmares?
Apparently. But she refuses to tell me what they were. I think she's embarrassed.
That doesn't sound like Mickey.
I know, darling. Don't tell her I said so. But I've never seen her so agitated in my life. She scared the hell out of me.
I don't know why I have nightmares. I guess they could be stress-related. After all, the exhibition's right around the corner.
Oh, yes. The school exhibition. How's that going?
God, don't ask. I have no idea how I'm going to finish my painting on time. I haven't felt inspired in ages.
I think you work too hard, darling. You need to relax once in a while. Live. Enjoy your youth. There's inspiration to be found in hedonism, you know.
No, I don't know, but apparently you do.
I'm an authority on the subject, darling. Ask Mickey. She'll tell you I don't lift a finger around the place unless I absolutely have to.
Told you you'd like her. She's very interesting. Where is everyone? It's very quiet.
Where's everybody this morning?
Mickey's tied up in the basement. Mind you, she's not literally tied up, of course. Although that is a tempting thought.
Are you getting into your sexual fantasies here, Fiona? Because it's a little too early in the morning for that, don't you think?
Sorry, I just can't help myself. Anyway, the plumbing is... You probably noticed when you took a shower, yeah? There's no hot water. So Mickey's working on that. Getting knee-deep in putrid canal water is her job, thank God.
What about Charlie? He up yet?
No, he's still sleeping, and Emma just went to bed. I saw her come in when I was making breakfast. Do you know who she's seeing now?
I don't know. Some guy?
Those lads I see her with, darling. She's too good for those arseholes. I wish she'd find herself a man who'd treat her right for once.
She hasn't had much luck with love, no?
She's a magnet for creeps, and she's so pretty. They prey on her, you know, bastards.
I've tried to talk to her about it, but Emma's impulsive. She doesn't listen.
She's just as headstrong as you and me, darling, but I'm sure she'll be all right. She's smart and resourceful, and not afraid to speak up for herself.
There's a lot of narration in this game. Just this conversation could go on for quite a while. And it's truly inspiring. It's interesting, and voice acting is top-notch, especially for the era.
Oh yeah. I love this character. She's hilarious.
All the characters are fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could talk to them for easily 15-20 minutes if you enjoy that sort of stuff. If not, you're going to be bored and you should leave. Shouldn't you be outside? Yeah.
Shouldn't you be outside enjoying the good weather?
You joking? Bollocks to that. I'll stay inside until September, thank you very much. It's too bloody hot.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Why, certainly, darling. About what?
Let's ask about the ring. Let's go from top to bottom.
Where did you find my ring?
Under the sofa, darling. It must have slipped off your finger while you were watching a movie or something.
That's strange, because I've been keeping it in a box in my room. I rarely ever wear it, and I've never carried it around in my pocket.
Kind of unsettling if you think about it.
Chill. How did it get out of that box that she was keeping it in?
Yeah, considering that dream and your black hole TV screens and everything else. Let's ask about Emma. Now, her friends live right here. Charlie lives one apartment down, and Emma lives somewhere on the top story.
Tell me about Emma.
Emma? Why, she's your best friend, darling. I don't know what to tell you that you don't already know. You girls are so close.
That's true. The day we met, we clicked instantly. It was strange, but cool.
Like me and Mickey then, except for the sex, of course.
That's a
Okay.
pretty big except for Fiona.
Oh, I guess so. She's the crazy one, Emma is. Not crazy as in mad as a hatter, but crazy in a good way. Fun to be around.
Emma's always been a little weird.
Exactly, darling. She's a flirt, too, and the boys seem to drop like flies at her feet. No wonder. She's a real looker, I don't have to tell you. I'm sure she could have been a model if she'd wanted, but she's an artist, and a good one, too. I really think she'll be a successful artist. Her sculptures are getting a lot of attention.
You know, the strange have no difficulty finding inspiration. I mean, they bring it to themselves. Especially Emma, when you meet her. Oh boy, she's a interesting character too. Very, outgoing. Hyper. Anything else? Probably not much else that she can tell, but we'll ask.
Anything else you can tell me about Emma?
She ought to be a little more careful sometimes. She's a flirt, and although she doesn't mean any harm, some lads don't take too well to being teased and rejected. You should tell her that, though, being her best friend and all.
I have told her. She won't listen.
No. She does worry me a little, but she's a big girl and she can take care of herself. I'm certainly happy to have her living here. Next to you and Charlie, she's my favorite tenant.
They're all your favorite tenants? I don't think she would pick sides. Sounds like an appropriate question.
What did you think of me when we first met?
That's a peculiar question, isn't it? I thought you were quite lovely. I still do, darling.
Do you remember the day I arrived?
Of course, darling. It wasn't that long ago, and I'm not senile quite yet. It was in May, wasn't it? Charlie referred you to me, and you were quite at a loss. First day in the city, wasn't it? I remember. You looked like a lost puppy.
Puppy? Me?
When I saw you lugging that suitcase across the bridge, my heart went out to you. I'm glad you came here. You could have been lost anywhere else.
Well, I'm glad we came too. Charlie's been nice.
How long have you known Charlie?
Oh, he's one of our oldest tenants. It's close to 3 years, I believe, since he moved in. Charlie is always in a good mood, and he's such a gentleman.
I agree. He's an actual, genuine gentleman.
And you don't see a lot of gentlemen these days, trust me. You have a very good friend in him, darling. Perhaps even more than a friend.
What do you mean, more than a friend?
Not for me to say, darling. If you don't realize it yet, you will.
It's one of those very close male-to-female friendships that April's a little hesitant on risking taking any further. That old fear that the friendship might end. Now, let's click down. You can't scroll. It's an older game, so you have to click. You should be able to end the conversation prematurely. It is very late.
I don't have any more questions right now.
Don't hesitate asking if there's something else you want to know.
And like April, I can't get much sleep. Without further ado, I'm gonna...
I'd better get going.
Off to school.
Yeah, there are no more classes this semester, but I have to finish my painting by next Thursday.
For what it's worth, darling, good luck. And don't work too hard, all right?
Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna end that conversation and save the game, and join you next time for the next episode of The Longest Journey. So always enjoy your life.